Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello to all who are watching this. In this video I want to show you, in no particular order, features that I would say must become standard features for all cameras in the future. Most, if not all, can apply to any type of camera, but I'm mostly specifically talking about smartphones because the reason being is that most of the features that I'm going to talk about have been implemented in a few camera apps here and there, but they have never been combined into one single app that you can just use and it just works. So starting from the top, I want, of course, manual controls for like focus, white balance, ISO, exposure, etc. So more specifically, I also want them to have a like exposure or white balance lock so that you can set it beforehand and then you don't have to worry about it. And another thing to add to that is what I would consider as a perfect white balance, where the white balance is pretty much exactly how the human eye sees it. So it's right around 6500 Kelvin-ish. But typically, the 6500K setting most phones and cameras is that it's for fluorescent lamps. So it's a lot cooler than it's not colder looking than it's supposed to be. And then the second thing I want is like monitoring tools, like histograms and focus peaking. The next thing I want is being able to turn it into a webcam, but more specifically, a webcam where you can connect it via USB. There is an app that can do that. It's called Irion Webcam. I use it from time to time. But again, it doesn't have all the other features that just standard Android camera apps have. And so, I don't know why, but it should be possible to implement all of them into just one thing. Another thing that can be easily implemented, but for whatever the reason hasn't, is allowing you to turn your smartphone into like a QR code scanner or a document scanner. These apps have existed by themselves before, but again, they haven't combined all the features from every single camera app into one. This is what I really wanted. Just one app that does everything that you want to and nothing more. And the last two here are kind of the pretty hard ones to implement, but it's certainly possible, which is open gate video recording and log profiles. So a log profile is a digital exposure curve that is added to the camera's footage after it's being captured in order to increase its dynamic range. So, like right now, using Rec 709, it just gets this. If we were able to change this camera in order to have a log profile, we may get a little more. And with open gate video recording, that means that since, for instance, with this the sensor aspect ratio is 4:3, but we're recording in 16:9. With open gate video recording, it allows us to record the full 4:3 aspect ratio and just cut it off if we need to. And the last one, which is image processing. It's always a problem with smartphones. It's gotten less worse these days, but they always want to try to change what the colors look like adding lots of brightness, lots of saturation and contrast, when it's just not natural looking. That's just the problem with most cameras in general, but more specifically smartphone cameras, because as good as the image looks, it always just doesn't look natural, and thus people will still use those big cameras, and people don't want to do that. Yes, it's like an added thing about bokeh and whatever, but image processing, I just want to make it the standard so that every single smartphone that you get pretty much looks exactly the same. Where you can take a photo on one smartphone and compare it to a photo taken from another, it would look just the same, the colors don't change. At most it would be the change in dynamic range because of a different sensor. But that's about it. That's about it. I have nothing more at the moment. But if I could maybe make like an updated list with more stuff on it, I'd definitely do it. So that's all for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.